Here's the podcast script. This week, the New York Times dropped its news quiz for June 26, 2026, and if you weren't glued to the headlines, you might want to clear your schedule, because it was a week packed with major stories. Let's start with the weather, because Europe made history. Much of the continent sweltered through an intense heat wave, and on Tuesday, France recorded its hottest day ever at a weather station in Pissos, in southwestern France. The quiz asks you to pin down exactly how scorching it got, and the options range from 94 all the way up to 124 degrees Fahrenheit. However you slice it, that's a record no one wanted to set. Meanwhile, halfway around the world, two major earthquakes struck a South American country on Wednesday evening. The quiz tests whether you know which nation was hit. The options span Argentina, Chile, Paraguay, Uruguay, and Venezuela. Over in the United Kingdom, there was a seismic shift of a different kind. Keir Starmer resigned as Britain's Prime Minister. The front-runner to replace him is Andy Burnham, who was until recently the mayor of Greater Manchester. Back in the United States, the Supreme Court ruled that the Trump administration may end asylum protections for migrants from Haiti and one other country. The quiz asks you to identify which one, with options including North Korea, Russia, Somalia, Syria, and South Africa. And on Capitol Hill, the Senate passed a war powers resolution related to Trump's military actions, with options ranging from troop withdrawals to budget cuts to impeachment. There was also a last-minute legislative twist. Trump canceled plans to sign a bipartisan bill right before it was set to become law on Wednesday. The bill touched on one of 6 possible issues, including AI regulation, housing, and prediction markets. In New York politics, Representative Dan Goldman, a two-term incumbent Democrat representing Lower Manhattan and Brooklyn, lost his primary race. The winner was Brad Lander, a former city comptroller and a close ally of Mayor Zohran Mamdani. The week also brought the passing of a towering economic figure. Alan Greenspan, who shaped American economic policy for more than 2 decades as chairman of the Federal Reserve, died at the age of 100. He served under 4 presidents, and the quiz asks you to identify which president he did not serve under, from a list that includes Reagan, both Bushes, Clinton, and Obama. On the world stage, the 2026 World Cup delivered some remarkable moments. One soccer star broke the all-time record for goals scored in World Cup history, 18 goals across 6 tournaments. The candidates the quiz offers: Erling Haaland, Alexis Lalas, Kylian Mbappe, Lionel Messi, and Cristiano Ronaldo. And the U.S. men's team got off to a strong start, winning its first 2 group stage games, something that apparently hasn't happened since at least 2010, with the quiz tracing back all the way to 1930. And finally, in news that is equal parts alarming and oddly fascinating, a truck overturned in southeastern Texas this week, releasing approximately 20 million insects onto the road. The quiz gives you 5 choices: cockroaches, fire ants, grasshoppers, honeybees, or mosquitoes, and honestly, none of those options feel great. The quiz was compiled by Tom Wright-Piersanti, Daniel Ajushin, Stephen Moiti, and the staff of the morning newsletter, and whether you aced it or not, it's a reminder that this was a week the news absolutely did not take a day off.